Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 4.
It is a chilly day, a raw day across much of central and eastern Kentucky. A lot of drizzle and a few snowflakes. I'll show you why the flakes take over coming up.
A Laurel County grandmother charged with murder made a court appearance.
And former UK star John Wall gets emotional after his team's double overtime win, but it wasn't because of the game. What he had to say about the loss of a special friend. Welcome to WKYT News at 4. I'm Jennifer Palumbo. We saw a few snowflakes this morning, and you may see a few snow showers tonight. Right now, it's too warm for snow, so what can you expect where you are? WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking it on First Alert Defender. Chris, it's a dreary day.
It really is ugly out there. Again, you know, that's been the better part of December so far. We've only had roughly 6-7 hours of sunshine for the entire month of December across our part of the world. That's pretty amazing. Right now in Lexington, Hamburg Pavilion in the distance, the gray overcast skies, 37 degrees. Winds are coming at us from the northwest at 10 miles an hour. It feels like it is 30, so those wind chills are dropping into the upper 20s. We're 10 degrees colder than at the same point yesterday in Lexington. A lot of blue showing up with those numbers that continue to drop. A lot of mid and upper 30s now across the entire region. Those numbers will continue to kind of hold in the upper 30s over the next few hours. Then later tonight, we'll drop it into the low 30s. We're seeing some drizzle, seeing a few snowflakes showing up as well on Live First Alert Defender, and that's a trend that will take us not only into tonight, but tomorrow. And on Defender with a broader view, look at all the cloud cover that is out there. Notice a little stream of moisture coming off of Lake Michigan as of now. Once those winds become a little more oriented from the northwest, right on top of the Lake Michigan area, that'll pick up some juice and deliver it to parts of central and eastern Kentucky. And Jennifer, coming up here in just a bit, we'll track some of those snowflakes into the next few days.
We'll see you in about 15 minutes. A grandmother accused of killing her young granddaughter went to court today to answer to murder and several other charges. Investigators say 46-year-old Melissa Worstel was under the influence of drugs when she crashed her car into a telephone pole last week, killing 6-month-old Ivy Worstel. WKYT's Garrett Weimer is in Laurel County with the latest from the courtroom. It's our top story at 4.
It was a very brief court appearance for Melissa Worstel today. Family members inside the courtroom say they are worried about her health after seeing her today.
No, we were going to waive this to the grand jury.
It just took a couple of minutes in front of the judge, waiving a preliminary hearing to send the case to a Laurel County grand jury. Worstel faces charges after police say she was intoxicated when she crashed and flipped her car. Her 6-month-old granddaughter, Ivy, died in the crash. Police say she was not properly restrained. But family members in the courtroom today are asking folks not to jump to conclusions.
We just wish that everybody would wait until everything's known before they start judging her and saying that she's guilty. She loved that baby with every ounce of life in her.
Worstel is charged with murder, DUI, and drug charges. In Laurel County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
A grand jury will hear Worstel's case when it meets on Friday the 19th. Investigators are now asking for the public's help in identifying human remains found near the Kentucky River in Jessamine County. A fisherman found a torso next to the river near Camp Daniel Boone Road on Saturday. The coroner has ruled the case a homicide. It could take weeks for the state medical examiner to finish DNA testing. In the meantime, the sheriff's office is asking anyone to contact them if they have information on people missing in the area. Former Wildcat John Wall's NBA team won last night, but the Washington Wizards guard had a heavy heart because of a loss off the court. In the past year, Wall had gotten to know 6-year-old Maya, a cancer patient. He'd been writing her name on his shoes and even helped her meet singer Nicki Minaj. Maya died yesterday before the game. In an emotional interview after the game, Wall dedicated the win to his friend.
Man, this is an emotional game for me. This is for Maya, one of my close friends that I lost that I met last year. And it's just tough, man. I mean, to see a little kid that fights so hard for cancer and can't beat it. This game's for her, man. All my jerseys, my shorts, I'm going to give it to her family. It's a tough day for me. And I was really quiet today. So
it was tough. I'm talking to you before the game, and you're never like this. She really touched your heart, didn't she?
Wall scored 26 points in the Wizards' double overtime win over the Celtics. Our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Sam Dick is in the newsroom with a look at some of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Sam.
Good afternoon, Jennifer. Some St. Joseph Berea patients say collection agencies are after them for bills due over 6 years ago, but they say they never received them. World War II veteran Clarence Ramey tells us this is the first time he's heard of owing money to St. Joseph Berea. He says he paid his other medical bills years ago. Coming up on WKYT News at 4:30, you'll hear from Ramey's daughter, who says they're now having trouble getting some answers. A new billboard in Lexington is attracting some attention. It's for the Ark Encounter that's under construction in northern Kentucky. The billboard along New Circle Road reads, quote, "To all of our intolerant liberal friends, thank God you can't sink this ship." Coming up on WKYT News at 5, you'll hear from the park's parent company. They say there will be 16 of these billboards across the country to fight what they call misinformation by the media. That's a quick look at some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thank you, Sam. Now to stories making headlines across the nation at 4. U.S. Embassy and military personnel are on high alert around the world. There's concern the release of a new CIA torture report could spark an anti-American response. It calls the spy agency's post-9/11 interrogation tactics ineffective. Polo Sandoval breaks down the findings.
This is what the summary of the 6,000 pages look like.
The scathing Senate report casts a dark cloud over the Central Intelligence Agency.
At no time did the CIA's coercive interrogation techniques lead to the collection of intelligence on an imminent threat that many believe was the justification for the use of these techniques.
Democratic Senator Dianne Feinstein chairs the committee that looked into the CIA's harsh interrogations of terrorist detainees following 9/11. She calls the agency's techniques, quote, ineffective and deeply flawed. More of the key findings suggest the CIA poorly managed the program, losing track of detainees and misleading government officials and the American public to believe the tactics were less brutal than they claimed. The CIA calls the report flawed and its interrogation program effective. The spy agency goes on to say information obtained from detainees, quote, substantially advanced the agency's strategic and tactical understanding of the enemy. The White House disagrees, saying the harsh methods were not only inconsistent with the nation's values, but did not serve counterterrorism or national security interest. Republican Senator John McCain also among the critics.
Torture produces more misleading information than actionable intelligence.
Marines at diplomatic posts and military bases are on high alert around the world, fearing potential backlash. Reporting in Washington, I'm Polo Sandoval.
Military leaders say forces fighting ISIS terrorists in the Middle East are making some big gains. They're about to get another boost. U.S. allies have announced they're sending more troops to Iraq to help defeat the militant group. The troops will help train and advise Iraqi and Kurdish soldiers battling the Islamic State. So far this month, the U.S.-led coalition has carried out nearly 4 dozen airstrikes against ISIS in both Iraq and Syria. New lending guidelines could make it a lot easier for people trying to buy a home. Details in WKYT Money Watch. And more companies across the country are getting in the holiday spirit by letting employees shop online at the office. That's next on WKYT News at 4.
Follow WKYT online at WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A mixed day on Wall Street as Chinese markets tanked and Greece had one of its worst trading days in decades. The Dow dropped 51 points to close at 17,801. The Nasdaq added 26 and the S&P was down a fraction. Jim Beam, the best-selling brand of Kentucky bourbon in the world, is asking for state incentives to build an urban still house in downtown Louisville. Jim Beam wants to put it in 4th Street Live, the city's entertainment and dining district. Jim Beam already has the American Still House at its distillery in Claremont outside Bardstown. New lending guidelines will make it easier for people to afford the down payment on a home. Starting this week, some potential owners can put just 3% down. To qualify, buyers must have a credit score of 620, have private mortgage insurance, and receive home ownership counseling. A new survey indicates many companies across the country are loosening up their online shopping rules at the office, especially during the holidays. It's an idea many employees and bosses are rallying around. Omar Villafranca reports.
John Edwards does his holiday shopping at work during office hours. He says it saves him time, travel, stress, and is good for business.
I'm able to stay on top of my inbox. I'm able to stay responsive to my vendor partners, our employees, and the people that I'm accountable to.
Edwards says the relaxed online shopping policy at his Washington State construction firm works well for him as an employee and a boss.
It's not something that we feel is taken advantage of. When we look at day-to-day productivity, the productivity of our employees doesn't suffer at all.
According to a new study, other businesses agree. John Reed's firm surveyed more than 2,000 executives at a wide variety of companies. 17% more of those businesses allow unrestricted access to shopping sites compared to 2 years ago.
Flexibility in the workplace continues to be an area that ranks very highly for employees. You know, that's something that's really important to them. So employers realize you have to offer that flexibility to retain and keep your employees happy.
Edwards says enhanced quality of life matters.
And trusting employees with that flexibility absolutely is a game changer.
About a third of the companies surveyed still block online shopping access completely, but the number is expected to go down in the years to come. Omar Villafranca, CBS News.
The company that did the survey reminds employees to log out of merchants' accounts to protect their personal information.
It's called the Donor Club card, a great gift for you as well as the children at the UK Children's Hospital. I'm Deanne Stevens out and about at Chewy's today to explain.
A lot of clouds, a little drizzle and snowflake action for parts of central and eastern Kentucky. I'm tracking a colder 7-day forecast when I get back in a moment.
Get a live look at Lexington rush hour traffic and slowdowns on the circle around Leestown. Of course, they're doing more construction there now on the inner and outer loops, so that's something we're going to be dealing with this afternoon. Outbound Leestown Road, just to let you know, is about a 12-minute delay right now from the circle out toward Masterson Station, and traffic is bumper to bumper on the circle itself, both on the inner and outer loops coming up on Leestown Road. A quick look at the south side. It's heavy on Nicholasville Road in front of the mall. The exit ramp from New Circle to Nicholasville holding its own for this time of year. We'll keep an eye on that. Now back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Don. Well, this is the season for giving, and you can give a unique gift this year that will in turn help others.
That it will. Deanne Stevens out and about today, and she joins us from Chewy's in Lexington to tell us about it. Hey, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. I do have a great gift idea for you and you and you. Check it out. It is the Chewy's donor card. And let me tell you why I'm crazy about this idea. Not only do I get to eat lots of guacamole and queso, but it helps the children at the Kentucky Children's Hospital. Chloe Hurley is with us. Tell us about your partnership on this donor card, because I love this gift idea.
We are so fortunate to have this partnership, and ultimately the funds will be used to help with our renovation, which is under full swing right now. So we're just thrilled that the folks at Chewy's are helping out with that.
You guys have a lot going on this year at the Kentucky Children's Hospital, and with folks like Chewy's and folks at home who are watching who get this donor card, what I think they need to know is 100% of the proceeds go back to the Kentucky Children's Hospital, which will help you with so many projects.
Absolutely, especially at Christmas time. A lot of folks want to get involved, and this is just a really easy way. You know, you're out doing Christmas shopping, you pop in here, and you're also helping the kids at the Children's Hospital. So it's kind of a win-win.
It is definitely a win-win, and here's what the win-win is about, because we get to eat some queso and some guac. David Feigl is with us, and this, I like the idea. As you start telling us about it, I want you to get Chloe and I started, because we're cooking up for you today. We're taking all the work off your hands. How do we make this queso?
Okay, well, we start with our green chili sauce, and then we have our ranchero sauce. Now, these sauces are made from scratch here in the restaurant, so it's not like you can go find them anywhere else. And then you mix it with some water and then the cheese. So you can go ahead and start throwing that in the pan.
It's that simple?
It's that simple for us.
Actually, you all do all the work before we get here, right?
It's true. It's true. Now, these sauces, like the ranchero sauce that she has right now, that actually takes around 8 to 10 hours to make, just where we roast the tomatoes and the serranos together and then getting the right char on those tomatoes. So
that's the key then, right?
It is. It surely is.
So this donor card, people pay $25, right?
Right. Pay $25, and then anytime you come in and you purchase an entree, of course, you will get the free queso or guacamole. And that's for the entire year of 2015. It's not just a one-shot, just whatever. It's all year long. So if you come in 5 times a week, you get a free queso 5 times a week, which is great. So it's just a real great cause, first and foremost, but then also it's just our way to be able to help out. And then, of course, sharing some great food.
Yeah, great gift in giving to others, that's for sure. Okay, so come in and get you. The only location doing it is the one right here in Lexington. Of course, the proceeds, as you just heard, going to the Kentucky Children's Hospital. Now, coming up at 4:50, we're going to taste this queso and see how Chloe did with that. And we're whipping up some guacamole for you guys at home as well. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Chuy's. Back to you guys.
She used to whip up that guacamole and bring it to the station.
At home? Huh? What about those of us who are at work, Deanne? Come on, hook us up.
We'll check back in with Chuy's in our next half hour. Well, do you like to haggle? Amazon has you covered. The online retailers make an offer option in Better Living. Also, new concerns about a controversial chemical found in cans and bottles. Details next on WKYT News at 4. It's time for Better Living, health, education, and consumer news that impacts your life. Amazon is now letting people haggle for certain items. In its make an offer function, people can negotiate the price. The option is only available under Amazon's fine art, sport, and entertainment collectibles and coin markets. It's for one-of-a-kind items with an initial listing price of more than $100. Amazon says about 150,000 items are currently eligible for make an offer. Sellers get 3 days to respond to the below-list price bids. Facebook is making it easier to search for old posts. It's updating its search tool for desktop and on its iPhone app this week. So now you can search for those photos and videos you're looking for with generic phrases. There's a new warning about the health risks from the chemical known as BPA. It's used to line cans and plastic bottles and can leach into foods and drinks. A study in the journal Hypertension finds BPA can increase blood pressure, raising the risk of cardiovascular disease. How's this for convenience? Walgreens is partnering with MD Live for virtual doctor appointments, so you don't have to leave your home to get checked out by the doctor. Appointments on your phone or computer cost $49. General Mills is bringing back its beloved French Toast Crunch. The cereal was discontinued in 2006, but General Mills says it listened to fans who gathered thousands of signatures in an online petition and created a Facebook page dedicated to bringing the cereal back. For more health, education, and consumer news, log on to WKYT.com and click on Better Living.